Good evening, Milken parents. I want to take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about what your kids are going to be doing within our Modern World / Jewish History 2 classroom throughout the year. I've mentioned to you already that this is going to be a very high-tech year. I'm sure many of you have heard about it already. But I wanted to kind of decipher what high-tech exactly means and why we're actually using some of these tools. So, I'm going to start us off with blogs. Here we have an example of a blog of a student, and what this basically is an online website where he or she is allowed to express themselves, to put an opinion on something, to foster some sort of conversation, and to interact with anyone who may come across and or want to read their blog. In this specific situation, Erica's blog deals with Italian nationalism, but she also has posts dealing with paintings and her interpretation of the paintings, and she also has a post on her expectations for the class. This allows students to interact with people anywhere, anytime, as long as they have an internet connection. That's an extremely powerful tool for a variety of reasons. One, it can increase the quality of the work that is being done by the student. And two, it allows them to reach out to different cultures and perspectives and ideas and really start to grow as individuals by exposing themselves to that type of atmosphere. So these are blogs. They will do daily assignments on blogs, they'll conduct class warm-ups on blogs, and interact with one another on these blogs. The next tool is a wiki. A wiki is slightly different in that a wiki is a collection of factual information that can be contributed by a variety of users. So we have a Modern World 2 Holton wiki, and all 5 of my classes can contribute to this one spot. So for instance, we gave a small in-class assignment one day to come up with class ideas and definitions of Marxism and capitalism, to try and come to your own understanding and create your own wiki page. Each class could then go in and edit the page and add or take away whatever it is that they felt they liked or disliked about that page. So in that way, they're forced to collaborate with one another and collaborate with the wiki and eventually change and update different versions of this project. The nice part about this is that it fosters a deep sense of teamwork, right, and togetherness and collaboration, and the idea that everyone has to contribute to the overall project, and a responsibility, once again, because it's online, to make sure that this content is accurate. Finally, we have Ning.com. And what Ning.com is a social community page where I can allow each of the students to come and create their own profile and their own portfolio. And that's how this will be used. I add screencasts with instructions to this page. The students get on and view the instructions, and then they construct their own page. They can upload their own videos, which they will do later this year. They can add their own blogs to their profile page. They can upload their documents, their essays, and their PDFs to this program, Box.net. And in that way, it becomes an online source where they can show you their work, another teacher, a principal, family. They could even send this link on college applications, thus allowing them to really demonstrate what it is that they have done throughout the year in class. And they will use this page to collect all of their work. Now, these are some of the online tools. I'd like to take a few minutes and talk to you about some of the more creative type ways that they'll be working with history this year. One of the first ways the kids are going to interact with this new technology is through screencasting. And screencasting is the tool that I just used to show you all of the different online resources. What screencasting allows you to do is to demonstrate anything and everything that the speaker is doing on their computer screen. Now, most times this is used for instructional type purposes and for tutorials. The kids will use it in a different way. they will have to take a source and compare it against what we are calling our RADCAB rubric, which is a way to, as you see here, evaluate information based on its relevancy, appropriateness, detail, currency, authority, and bias. And this is part of that media evaluation, which I have mentioned to you earlier in the program. So they would take this RADCAB rubric and they would compare it against any historical source that they could find to demonstrate whether it is a worthwhile source or whether it's something that should be discarded or not used at all. What they end up coming up with.
Hi, my name is Shoshana Cohen, and here's my screencast on nationalism in several countries in Europe. So my first country is Italy, and I found out that it was unified under Romantic nationalism. So my first quote talks about how Italy was unified based on their ethnic groups. However, this was found on an unreliable site because all I had to do was search Romantic nationalism in Google, found something on Wikipedia that popped up, searched Italy.
So this brings me through their actual search process, the way that they're processing the information, the way that they're thinking about sources, and allows me to see whether or not they're really getting the point of what it means to find and use an actual good and credible source. Right? And they will use screencasts to do this in a very fun and creative and interactive way. Finally, we come to the culmination of our year and the culmination of the both intellectual and technological experiences, and that is the creation of digital stories. The students will use a variety of softwares to create digital stories narrated by them, fully created and constructed by them, to include a variety of items that we've used throughout the year. This may be their own narration, it may be digital pictures, video, music clips, sound bites, historical speeches, whatever it may be, but they will use it to construct it in a way that allows them to give more insight into media literacy as well as historical narratives and really take the time to understand what people went through, what they had to deal with, what the patterns of social interaction are, and what all of that means for these students. This particular project was created last year and was done about the true story of this student's grandfather who lived through and experienced the Holocaust.
Walter was born in Cologne, Germany in 1924. He grew up as an average German child who went to school, liked to draw, and loved to play at the park. But soon, Walter learned that he was different. He was still a young boy when the outburst of anti-Semitism occurred in Germany. He was young, but still old enough to know what was going on.
So there you have 1 minute of what ends up being a full 14 or 15-minute film, and the students will have every opportunity to create these on their own and really kind of dive into what history means, what we can learn from it, and to do it in a very creative, advanced, and thought-provoking way.